Hi and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my all-time favourite tarot deck, the Light Seers. Only this time is a pocket edition of the deck. This pocket tarot first came out in August this year and I couldn't wait to get my hands on it. I'd already pre-bought this on Amazon months and months before, so it was a real surprise when it came through the post, and it's just gorgeous. It comes in this beautiful tin, as you can see, made by Hay House. It's a 78 card tarot deck, exactly the same as its predecessor, only much smaller. These are both published by Hay House. Although the Light Seers was originally an indie deck, Hay House then took over. So Chris-Anne has also produced the Muse Tarot and the Tarot of the Curious Creatures, as well as her Sacred Creators Oracle. These are absolutely fantastic decks and I keep them all together along with the Light Seers, but this one, it's my favourite. So we're going to have a bit of a look today at the pocket edition and just see what the differences are and what it's like. So first of all, the original edition comes in a tin. As you can see, the imagery is still the same compared to the original box. This tin is super dinky. You can see the size difference there. It's still really chunky though. As you can see, there isn't much of a height difference. Weight wise, this is actually quite weighty, but it's still great for a handbag or to go in a travel bag or whatever it might be. Now, I was really surprised because the first thing that I noticed was that the pocket edition still comes with the little book. And it really is a little book because it's really tiny, but they've managed to fit all the text in just the same as really they did in this. So although obviously the image of the card isn't there, they've managed to get in everything else, so all the information's still there. It's really dinky, but it's just perfect, and it's not too much thicker really. So I'm really impressed with it. Both come with the same guidebook, and as you can see, it's almost identical. So pocket edition or original edition have still got guidebooks. Really cute. Size wise for the cards, obviously the tin has got nothing in the bottom or in the lid compared to inside the lid for the original boxing, and inside the box there is text. Oh, I'm knocking things over. So you don't get that sort of detail with the tin. But the cards, as I was about to explain, are almost just like the guidebook, identical, just the size difference really. So here's the original cards and here are the pocket edition cards. So you can see there the size difference is quite large, but again it's still quite chunky. So I've edged these original cards, in green. I haven't had time to edge my new ones yet, but they don't normally come edged with Hay House. The indie edition does. It comes in a green edging, but that's quite hard to get hold of. So let's have a look through this gorgeous deck. It's been ages since I last checked out these cards. The quality of the card stock is nice and chunky, just like this here. So it's still really chunky card stock. It's perfect for shuffling in my little hands. So we start with a Fool, a beautiful card, which I think I love the Light Seers just because it sort of depicts exactly how I feel about the tarot, if you will, because the imagery is just, it's divine and it's really nice and intuitive. It's great for first time readers. I love how all the cards are numbered, and I love the font and everything about the cards, and the imagery is just gorgeous. This is a Fool. And then we have the Magician. This is one of my favourite cards. It's just so beautiful the way they've done it, and all the symbology and Chris-Anne's artwork is just so phenomenal. And then we have the High Priestess, which of course is the same as the packaging, and this has to be one of my favourite cards within the deck. I don't know if it's because I'm a redhead myself or I just really associate with this card, and I love the artwork on this card. It's just beautiful. And then we have the Empress, another gorgeous card. I love how the earth is literally in the lady's belly there, and it's total like motherhood and femininity. It's just beautiful. And then we have the Emperor, another lovely card, really well depicted. I'm just choosing some cards from the original deck to see if I can compare some cards for you. So we've got the Emperor there, and then we've got the Hierophant, which is just beautiful. It reminds me very much of the Stairway to Heaven here. I think it's just really nice and divine, the way they've done that sort of knowledge going up, that higher path. Moving on to the Lovers. A beautiful card. Again, the symbology in tiny little things like tattoos, and when you look closely, you can see all sorts of symbols there within the cards themselves. Really well done. Then we've got the Chariot. And then we've got Strength. And I really love this card because I love how she's half lion, half female. It's sort of very much the Leo card, isn't it, really? So Chris Ann's done a really good job of depicting that. And then the Hermit look. It's just so gorgeous. And then we've got the Wheel, which I like how she stood on lots of different wheels there, so lots of things can change. And then we've got Justice. And that sword and the reflection. It's just really well done. And the Hanged Man. Again, I always like to turn this card the other way up so you can see that actually they aren't struggling at all. I love the colours in the cards as well. They're so vibrant. And I like that Chris Ann has opted to call this Death or Rebirth. And I love that you look into this sort of hood, if you will, of death, and actually you see this beautiful skyline and the whole sort of restarting again. It's just, again, really well done. And then we have Temperance. Very balanced. A lovely artwork there. And then we have the Devil. It's quite a hunky chap, I guess. Certainly tempting, if you will. And then we have the Tower. A really interesting depiction of the Tower because you don't actually see the tower. You see animals and you see this sort of grassy building sort of crumbling. Nature's destruction. And then another one of my favourite cards, the Star. The Star of Hope, if you will. It's really lovely done with this string like a balloon going up to the star, and she's holding on to it. And then we have the Moon. And I really love the artwork on this card just because of the fact that you've got the moon above the water and it's shining through. And she's almost like a mermaid there. Just really lovely. And then we have the Sun, such a joyous, happy card. And this is probably one of the best sun cards I've come across in tarot, just because it's so bright, bold, happy. But then you've still got these stars in the sky. It's just beautiful. And then we have Judgment. Again, she's sort of dancing here in spirit. Really well done. And then we have the World and that sort of completion. Really nicely done. Oh. Then we go to the Suit of Wands. And I love how Chris Ann has done this like flame in her brain, if you will, of this thinking. And it all looks really pinky and purpley and sort of very feminine and arty. I love this deck. This is why it's my all-time favourite deck. It is great for beginner readers as well. Here's a Two of Wands with that urge to travel. And the Three of Wands, waiting at the beach with a surfboard. Really nicely depicted. And then we have the Four of Wands with a tambourine and a tent in the background and that celebration card. Really nicely done. And then the Five. Really interestingly done because, again, it looks like a ladder's been broken up and people are trying to climb and squabbling. It's just really well depicted. And here's the Six of Wands, and I've got a comparative card here so you can see the artwork is identical. It is just smaller. And the backs of the cards are exactly the same too. Again, just smaller. So that's why I was pulling some cards from the original deck just to try and give you a comparison there. And then we have the Seven of Wands. Really peaceful, calm, relaxing card. And the Eight, I love how this just looks like fireworks and candles just exploding with speed. Just really well done. And then we have the Nine of Wands here. That just keep trooping on. And then the Ten of Wands. Now, there was a bit of a thing about one of the cards within this deck being changed. And over the years, one card was changed, and I think it may have been the Ten of Wands. I'm not sure. I've got the original set only. So this is the card that I have, and it is beautiful, both in pocket and the original size. Then we have the Page of Wands. It's really delightful, isn't it? So energetic. And the Knight of Wands. Again, not a male figure, but female there. And the Queen of Wands, full of vibrance and energy. And the King of Wands. And I've got another card here to show you his comparison. Exactly the same artwork. I think maybe the colours are slightly brighter in the new pocket deck, but that might be because I've had this one for a while. But just identical. And I'll still be using both decks, but I'll be making sure to carry this one out with me in my handbag in future. So we've got the Ace of Cups. Beautiful way of depicting that. And the Two of Cups. I think this is one of everyone's favourite cards, that card of love. And then the Three of Cups. And I think this is one of the most beautiful ways I've seen the Three of Cups done, with that friendship and the loyalty there. And then the Four of Cups we've got here, and it's really obvious to any reader that they're just unhappy, they're fed up. So it's really easy to follow this deck. It's really easy to understand. Here's the Five of Cups. And the Six, this is beautiful with the loyalty there and the sort of family links and that nostalgia. And the Seven of Cups, I've got another example here to compare with the main deck. So you can see the colour is very similar and it is just the identical card. So it's just another version of that deck, and it's really lovely, cute and small. Really small in comparison, so it's great to shuffle with. It's really, really good. Here's the Eight of Cups for walking away. And a lovely Nine of Cups. Again, one of the most joyous Nine of Cups cards I've seen. Really, really nicely done. And this has to be my favourite Ten of Cups card in existence for tarot. This just is my favourite deck. It's just so lovely. And then we've got the Page of Cups, and I always look at this and think of my son just because it reminds me of him. And the Knight of Cups, who reminds me of my husband. So I have these links in this deck to who things remind me of, and this card apparently reminds my husband of me. I think it's the hair again. So the Queen of Cups there, and the King of Cups. He's looking very chilled and relaxed. I love how the Ace of Swords has been depicted as a spiral staircase into the brain, into that thinking with new ideas. And the Two of Cups, Two of Swords there with the being pulled both ways. And again, look at the symbology. You can see tattoos on her and all sorts. And this has to be a really hard card to look at. It is for me, because Three of Swords it's just heartbreak. But it's a really well depicted, drawn card. So yeah, then we have the Four of Swords. I've got another comparative card here. So you can see the artwork's identical. There are no differences between the two decks. And then we've got the Five of Swords even. And the Six, which is really nicely done. And the Seven, beautifully done. And the Eight. And I think the way she's looking in the mirror and sees herself tied up is wonderful. And then we have the Nine of Swords, that anxiety card, and indeed it's just so well done. This is the card, sorry, that there are two versions of. It's a Ten of Swords. It wasn't the Ten of Wands, Ten of Swords. And it did change because of some controversies, I do believe. But yeah, I've got just this version. But there is another version out there. And then the Page of Swords. I love how she's carrying all these light bulbs like balloons. And the Knight running towards his motorbike rather than a horse. Then we've got the Queen of Swords. I've got another comparative card here for you so you can see. So I think it might be the contrast is slightly darker maybe in this set, but otherwise there are just no differences. And I've got the King of Swords here. And then the Ace of Pentacles, really nicely and simply done. And the Two of Pentacles with that balance. And the Three, which looks like traffic lights, but it's a weaving that they're doing together for that teamwork. And the Four, that holding on to your values. And Five with the loneliness. And the Six with the sharing. I think the imagery is just so clear. And the Seven with that growth. And that planting seeds to be grown. And the Eight, the work card as I call it, and the 9, it's just so pretty, so colourful, and the 10, that beautiful family card. And then we've got the Page. I've got another comparative card for you here so you can see just identical cards but just smaller and so lovely. then we've got the Knight and the Queen. And I love how she's done it all like an earth-like kind of woman. And finally, my favourite card in the terms of people cards, if you will, the King of Pentacles. Really beautiful card. I love how he's got his dog with him there. So yeah, this is Light Seers Pocket Edition Tarot. I obviously have both copies, and I love both sets equally. But I do believe that the pocket set may be better for those people with smaller hands to shuffle, because I tend to shuffle like this way on. But now with the pocket tarot, I can shuffle this way on. So it's a lovely deck for smaller hands like mine. And it is identical to the Light Seers, just again smaller. But I love how it comes with this guidebook. So it's all there, and it's in a tin, so it's not going to get crumpled or creased or broken in your bag. It's just really nice, and it is available to buy online via Hay House or Amazon. I think it cost me, I don't know, was it £12, £13, something like that? It might be more, I can't remember, but it's really lovely. Let me know if you'll be getting the pocket tarot for the Light Seers, or if you've already got it, or if it's something you'll be considering for the future, and let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. Take care.